think our ability to get a hold of someone at literally any moment of any day has kind of ruined like maybe the longing that people would have had prior to like the digital age, where like maybe you didn't see your, whoever you were dating for a couple of days, and there's like this period of time where there's a build up to see them again. Maybe we don't have that as much because now I can message my wife whenever I want, or, like something like that. What do you guys think about that?
I'll also pause you guys before you answer that. Apologies, but we got a super chat. I just want to thank the Car Wash channel of Northern PA and Ohio.
My
yet
favorite.
Again, thank you for showing back up to the stream.
The go.
Stream, that's the word. Thank you for the super chat. If you want your messages read on stream, feel free to send one in. And now, back to the answers.
So I think if you're in a relationship, that can be super beneficial. But one of the things that I've observed, because I work with people that are my dad's age and I work with people who are 20 years old. And I have a friend at work who's, I think he's 26 or 27. He's single. He's, he owns a home. He's got a stable job. Seems to be the complete package, in great shape, handsome guy. But the dating scene is so different than what it was even when Becca and I started dating, and I've talked about this. I'm like, I can't imagine being in the dating scene now, because from what I've observed of the dating apps is you don't get enough information to even really make a great determination that that's like somebody you even want to go on a date with. Like,
sure.
Everything is so superficial, right? It's like the best picture you could possibly pick, you're probably throwing that picture up. The coolest bio you could craft over an hour's time to make sure that it's perfect, you're putting it up. And it's just like social media. Most people with social media, they put their best version of themselves on social media, right? So the dating scene in general, I just feel like you would have to break through a lot of different barriers to truly generate a close relationship with somebody that you've never met before in a way that seems different than when even like Becca and I met, where it was like, okay, well, if you want to meet someone, you don't have a dating app. So you're just going to go to like the UCCS rec center and start talking to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's unheard of now.
Right.
I feel like.
Yeah.
I kind of want to build on that, because something that I notice in the younger generation as well is because they've grown up in a time where, like you said, everyone portrays their best self on social media. I think it gives them a false perception of how amazing everyone is around them. And they are so fearful of messing up or being perceived as saying something stupid or having a public rejection or something like that. I see a lot of fear, so much fear that they don't want to put themselves out there. They don't want to risk, people around them finding out that they're not perfect,
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm going to jump in.
Rejection from the type of conversations that are had on those dating apps. Because one of the things that like my buddy has talked to me about is with some people, if you chat too long on the dating app, they just get disinterested. With other people, they're like, okay, I want you to get to know me more on the dating app before I'm willing to go out with you in person. So it's like you kind of have to read between the lines and figure out like, what is it that this particular person wants, and that'd be really difficult to navigate.
You had asked the longing piece. I do think we did long distance for about 6 months in our
6 months.
Yeah, in our first year. And that we wrote letters for some of that, and it was so
cute.
It was so like
adorable.
I can't even express the amount of appreciation it made me have for him and who he was, and for our ability to communicate, and just all of it. I do think the more of something you have, the more for granted you take it. And so I think, the ability to just call someone up at any moment's notice, I do think, you take it for granted a little bit. You take for granted the ability to communicate and to just have availability constantly. And, I think like when you start to miss someone and miss communication and miss, I just think it is powerful.
Like it builds that.
Yeah.
But maybe not for too long, right? Like
maybe
long
not for
distance.
too long, obviously, but to just have appreciation and to not take for granted.